This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
It is 19 hours 1 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. Good evening. Welcome to your evening newscast for today, Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. Let's get to the news in details. In an existing and binding contract between Guyana and ExxonMobil, the world agrees that the country was cheated. To avoid a similar fate in the agreement to transport natural gas from the Liza fields in the Stabroek Block to Wales, stakeholders in Guyana believes citizens should see the contract before the government attach its signature, especially since they will ultimately be required to prepay the project costs, likely to reach some $2 billion US. Interested stakeholders too have not been allowed an opportunity to share their concerns or suggestions regarding the project, except for a brief consultation hosted by Exxon on the environmental aspect of the project. Guyanese working in the oil and gas industry continue to beg local authorities to pay more attention to their working conditions, claiming exploitative measures are being implemented by some support companies in securing their services. Many workers from different contracting services have complained bitterly to the labor union and even to Kaieteur News about payment and other work-related inadequacies. The most recent complaint came just days ago when President of the National Miners Workers Union of Ghana, Sharon Downer, said that workers from a support service company with whom they previously had grievance was again having problem with the labor laws that allow them to secure workers' services while ditching their responsibilities to the staffers. Since it is the government's intent to not renegotiate the 2016 Stabroek Block Production Sharing Agreement and instead to seek to claw back value through mechanisms like the local content legislations, industry stakeholders therefore suggest that care be taken in how fast offshore field development takes place. Essentially, going too fast could undermine the goals of the legislation. This advice was recently offered by Trinidadian energy strategist Dr. Anthony Paul. Speaking on the pace of development, Paul reasoned that if the country's intention to achieve its local content goals, build capacity and maximize value, then a fast-paced development undermines this. According to Guyana's local content law, there are a set of specific goals to ensure citizens are in the driver's seat of the industry. These include prioritizing Guyanese national and Guyanese companies in the procurement of goods and services for the enhancement of the value chain of the petroleum sector, enabling local capacity development and providing for the investigation, supervision, coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of and participation in local content in Guyana. Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana, in its report on the performance of the country in the first 3 months of 2022, had estimated that by year-end, inflation would reach 4.1%. Inflation is the rate of the increase in prices over a given period of time. In the first few months of the year, inflation of 1.7% had reportedly occurred. However, now the Ministry of Finance in its mid-year report has revised this estimate up. It is now expected that the full-year inflation will be 5.8%. This 5.8% full-year inflation rate is even higher than last year's inflation of 5.7%. And finally, at this time, in the first half of 2022, the government expended $8.1 billion of the $12.4 billion, allocated to the further development of the housing sector. This is reflected in the mid-year report released by the Ministry of Finance over the weekend. According to the report, $11 billion allocated to continue infrastructure works in the Central Housing and Planning Authorities for housing areas. The sum of $7.4 billion was spent so far. And that's the news at the moment. My name is Joshua Van Sleckman. Thank you for joining us.
And that's the news at the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio. Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on